Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday to you. It is February 16th, and wanted to jump right into this month's market report. Got my daily prescribed Starbucks with me already, so we're all set to go. Wanted to start out with, of course, got lots of fresh new data for you, but I wanted to start out with our 2021 home price forecaster. This is across the 7 real estate think tanks. They've recently published their outlook on 2021. And we can see if we average out all 7, we see a average price increase of 5%. Now, remember, historically in this country, home price appreciation has been at about 3.8%. So we're fairly above our historic norms still. But let's take a quick look at where interest rates are headed. I get these questions a lot. If you are one of these people, I would love to talk with you more along with one of my lending partners, and we can paint a really good picture on what you can expect with your interest rate this year. But here's the latest projections from Freddie Mac on the 30-year fixed rate. The orange line here shows where we've been. The blue line here, of course, shows where we're going. And as we expect, as we go through the year, I can probably see this being revised even a little bit more as the economy improves. But certainly, in the low threes, where the 3.2 or 3.5%, whatever the forecasters say, moving forward. And I'm going to be keeping a close eye on this and publishing this in our market reports and letting you kind of know what interest rates are looking like. I really like this quote from Mark Fleming. He says, rising interest rates reduce house buying power and affordability. Well, that's a given. We know that. But here's the key. But are often a sign of a strong economy, which increases home buyer demand. By any historic standard, today's mortgage rates remain historically low and will continue to boost house buying power and keep purchase demand robust. So some perspective on the recession and the economic slowdown we've been through is that we've seen the Fed working. We've seen the federal government working, helping to lower home loan rates by the levers and gears that they use to spur the economy forward. That's what they're doing. They know that the economy will not fully recover without a healthy housing market. So, 2020, in addition to that, it changed so much for us. One of the things I've seen in my industry is how a lot of people have had to redefine home. They've certainly the low interest rates, that kind of affects their choices. There's no doubt about that. But a lot of people have said, we need something different in a home. The needs for us as a family, the needs for us as an individual, whatever the case may be, have changed. We need to downsize. We need to move up. So I thought this was interesting. This was a research piece done by NAR on the amount of people working from home. And we can see, obviously this created a whole new norm for us in 2020 with 21% of people working from home. But now what's this showing? More people are going back to work. The amount of people working from home is starting to decrease, and they're projecting it to decrease in the next couple years. So wanted to talk about this also, housing affordability. We see a lot in the news, and I get a lot of questions from my clients about it. But anyway, according to the NAR's Housing Affordability Index, today here we are at 168.2, this blue line. And a lot of people say, oh, well, houses aren't near as affordable as they were 10 years ago. And there's a small element of truth to that. But let's not miss the fact that we're at a much more affordable place than we were in the last few years of the housing crisis, and way more affordable than we were in 2008. The other piece I talk about with affordability is, are we in a bubble? Am I going to get burned by buying a house or upscaling my house just prior to a bubble? And, with home prices at all-time highs, all those kinds of questions. But I wanted to point this out. This is the percentage of income needed for a mortgage payment. And it is at a historic low down here at 14.9%. Traditionally, it sits at 21.2%. And again, this is the percentage of income, the average that people have to dedicate from their income going towards their mortgage payment. And we're not seeing that number climbing. The next piece is this. This is the typical mortgage payment for an individual as adjusted by inflation. And here we sit today at $826. That's the average mortgage payment. It's at a better time than really any, except for, of course, here in January of 2012. This was really the trough of the housing market crash. The homes hadn't quite been that affordable for a long time because the bottom had just fallen out of the home prices. So certainly more affordable than we were in 2000, and way more affordable than we were back in 2006. The last thing I wanted to include is with the rising home equity levels is how that is improving a home buyer's ability to purchase their new home. Odetta Cushy said this: once you include the equity benefit of price appreciation, owning made more financial sense than renting in 48 out of the top 50 markets, with the only exceptions being San Francisco and San Jose, California. Now, what does that mean? Well, if you today are looking at changing your home situation, it's going to be more challenging the further into the year you wait to do that. So, I explain it like this: there's no time like the present. That being said, it's important to start today with a plan. Now, what's a plan? Well, it's the goal, the dream that you have of upscaling your home or downsizing, but with a strategy in place and a time frame. And that's what I'm here for. I've got I've got this edition of Selling Your House, the guide that I wrote. I've got obviously the guide to buying your next house. I'd be happy to share those with you. Talk to me today. The sooner the better. So hope you guys enjoyed this and that it was informative. We'll see y'all next month with our market update. Have a good one.